Hello, Dr. Mark Dailey here. Today we're going to talk about, of all things, parasites. Many doctors call human parasites the silent killer, affecting 8 of 10 Americans, and they're almost always associated with some type of yeast or fungal overgrowth. In recent medical studies, it's been estimated that 85% of the North American adult population has at least one form of parasite living in their bodies. Some authorities feel this figure may be as high as 95%. Here's a quote from Dr. Ross Anderson, one of America's foremost parasitic infection specialists. "I believe the single most undiagnosed health challenge in history of the human race is parasites. I realize that is a pretty brave statement, but it's based on my 20 years of experience with more than 20,000 patients." Again, Dr. Peter Weiner, Chief of Pathobiology in the Walter Reed Army Institute of Research, said, "We have a tremendous parasite problem right here in the United States. It's just not being addressed." Dr. Bernard Jensen, the father of iridology in the United States and foremost expert in colon research and therapy, said, "The average person over 40 has anywhere between 5 to 25 pounds of buildup in their colon. Parasites of all sizes thrive in this indisposed residue of fecal matter, slowly but surely toxifying the whole body. And one of the things that we're concerned about is toxicity. So we want to reduce the toxicity in your body, and we have to remove those things that cause toxicity, and parasites is just one of them." Dr. Frank Nova, Chief of the Laboratory for Parasitic Disease of the National Institute of Health, says in terms of numbers, there are more parasitic infections acquired in the United States than in Africa. That makes you think. A study done on monkeys by Dr. Ruth Rupchik of Harvard Medical School in 2008 and published in the Public Library of Science Journal demonstrated how a parasitic worm that causes schistomiasis, easy for me to say, which affects 200 million people globally, may make HIV infection more likely. Matter of fact, they determined that if you have this parasite, you're 17 times more likely to get the HIV virus. So how can we possibly get infected in the pretty sterile United States? Well, here are a few ways. Consider increased international travel, contaminated water supplies, swimming in contaminated lakes and streams, your pets, other people's pets, food supply such as pork and processed meats, uncooked meats. Humans can play host for over 100 different parasites, different species. They can infect not just the digestive system, but the lungs, the liver, the muscles, the joints, the throat, the brain, the blood, the skin, even the eyes. They can range from microscopic to several feet long, like the tapeworm. Common symptoms include constipation, diarrhea, gas and bloating, irritable bowel syndrome, joint and muscle aches and pains, anemia, allergies, skin conditions, nervousness, sleep disturbances, tooth grinding and clenching, chronic fatigue syndrome, immune system dysfunction, excess weight, acne, cancer, and others. These can be telltale signs of parasitic invasions, including excessive hunger, asthma, bad taste in the mouth, bad breath, diabetes, epilepsy, migraines, and even heart disease and cancer. Most of these diseases and symptoms can also be associated with candida, and oftentimes are misdiagnosed as candida. So it does make you wonder, especially since candida is almost always associated with the human parasite. Now, you may ask yourself, did the parasite cause the weakening of the immune system and allow the yeast overgrowth? In some cases, this may be true. The majority of human parasites are found in the colon, however, and now most doctors even agree that 90% of all disease and discomfort is directly or indirectly related to an unclean colon due to impacted fecal matter. Dr. Elson Haas, MD, said, "I consider the cleansing and detoxification process to be the missing link in Western nutrition and a key to the health and vitality of our civilization." Dr. Joel Furman, MD, states, "Cleansing does not merely detoxify. It also breaks down fat, abnormal cells, fat deposits in arteries, and tumors, then releases these diseased tissues into circulation for elimination." So you know why the gut is the cornerstone for health. It's not only about parasites, it's about yeast, it's about food sensitivities. Anything that affects the gut in a negative manner is going to affect your hormones, it's going to affect your thyroid function, your adrenal function. Remember, it's like dominoes lined up in a row. You push one down, eventually it affects them all. So stay the course, stay strong. We've got a job we're working towards. You're going to feel better than you have in decades. Remember this, you have a purpose. You have a mission in life. You have goals to reach. And it's awfully hard to reach your destiny when you struggle to get up in the morning or when you struggle to walk through the grocery store. Stay the course. Know that we're walking hand in hand. Great things are happening. Thanks for your time and your attention.